All right, so the person that Allison and I chose to interview is Joseph. He goes to church with me, and I got to know him at a small group. He was born in China, and so when I started working with some ELL students who speak Chinese, I asked him some questions, and he was really helpful. So I thought it would be fun to get to know him more and do the interview with him. So some of the questions, the key questions that I thought were big were, what parts of your life do you feel helped you learn and understand English? I asked some culture questions, which came from Agar, but then also probably from my other class that I'm taking that is about race and things. And then we asked some motivation questions to kind of go with the affective filter and Dr. Krashen. We asked who he spoke with first, if he went to school in the U.S. We asked a question about how that went, and so that was kind of that Bix versus Kalp from Dr. Krashen. And then we asked, how did you learn English, which comes from Dr. Krashen and different theories. What surprised me most, probably mostly due to my other class, was his answer to question number 8, which were my culture questions about what he liked or disliked, and I kind of expected him to have a dislike about American culture, but instead he said that, I was expecting an attack. Not necessarily like a mean attack, but just, people can be really mean, so I thought maybe he would have experienced something like that due to biases, but instead we got a heartfelt tribute to America's greatness. He immediately said that he loves freedom and liberty that is here in America. He said that he likes that you can be whoever if you work hard enough and you can make your own destiny. He appreciates the intentionality of the separation of powers that he says is unique to the United States. He appreciates that we have a system pretty much unchanged due to the success so far. Unlike in China where the Constitution changes often, his dislike was the opposite of what I expected. He dislikes people's preferences to human rights. He said people are offended all the time. I like hearing how he used religious radio to help him better his English. He was proud that he can communicate at the same level as native speakers and can make friends with anyone. He does not see English as a barrier. I was shocked that he was hesitant to call himself fluent after, feeling that way. He says his language is not flexible enough, yet he sometimes has to take it's not flexible enough yet. He sometimes has to take a detour to find a familiar expression if he gets stuck. He finds humor challenging, and he surprised me yet again by saying that he had a much easier time understanding physics or the content in his college classes than the other pieces. So he kind of says that Kalp came before Bix. He says small talk. He said he still struggles with small talk, which should kind of be Bix, I would think, and maybe have come first, but not for him. The affective filter hypothesis stood true for Joseph, and so did Agar. He was more motivated to learn English once in the U.S. and was more successful. It surprises me that he came at the age of 23 and has been so successful. I mean, of course he has an accent, but he speaks so well even if he's not willing to admit it. And some questions that I have is, how can I be better at creating real learning experiences like he talked about with reading the newspaper and listening to videos? And can culture be better implemented into an ELL lesson? They're here in America, so it's not like my Spanish classes where I have to put culture in. They're surrounded by culture, but is there a better way to make that part of our lessons? And should I incorporate media into my ELL lessons? And if so, how would I do that? Since Joseph found media to be so powerful, how could I incorporate that better? Where could I maybe find good quality video that would be at the level for my students and not beyond? And that, I think, covers everything I needed to cover. Thank you.